Well, suffering succotash, sassafras, and all the things that go up your ass. What's up, creepers? Chris the Retro Creep, how's everyone? How's everyone doing today? Once again, I got lucky. I got done doing a few things this morning, and I come home and the missus is like, I gotta go to the mall on the other side of fucking Gibraltar, and I'm gonna take one of the kids with me, and the other one's gonna go to the high school to go paint sets for their production of Les Miserables. Les Miserables. And then shortly after that, the landlord fucking pulled out to go do whatever he's gonna do for the day. So I fucking cranked this up and said, you know what? I'm going to go hang out with these morose motherfuckers. I don't know why you guys continue to come back, but I appreciate it. What's up, everybody? This fine, sunny afternoon. What is today? Saturday? Excuse me. I got a little schmutz. I got a little schmegma. Schmutz on my fingers. Went out and got a slice after. I didn't realize I had a little bit of tomato jizz in between my fingers here. It's okay though, and I've washed my hands probably like 3 times since then. It's a little harsh, huh? Oh, I could have just fucking thrown it way out. Way out. Alright, where are my glasses? I see the people writing the words to say the stuffs. Hey, I got a question for you guys in a minute, for you smarter fucking guys. I got something here that I'm trying to figure out. I don't even remember where I got it, and I feel awful, because I know it was a gift at one point that came in a box full of stuff, but we'll get to that in a minute. Alan, what's up, buddy? Did you notice the controller the skeleton is holding has 2 cords instead of 1? Yeah, because the Genesis is twice as fucking powerful. If you look closely, AI messed up. I don't give a fuck. You guys can point out AI bullshit all day long. I don't care. That was a picture of me that was turned into an EC comic, and I told it to put a controller in its hand. But that's all right. Feature creep. What's going on? Yeah, I don't care. I genuinely don't give a shit. If I were to worry about nitpicking stupid shit like that, I would have to take my face and smash it against a fucking, I'm looking at it now. So what? It's bubbled up on the top. Who cares? Why focus on dumb shit? You know what I mean? The fucking world's a nightmare right now. Let it go. Let it go. But I'm in a rare mood today, guys. Like a good rare mood. In fact, I would question whether or not that was a second chord. It could be just coming down and coming up, and he's holding on to it just right, and it's just kind of looping. Although if the chord was coming out of the bottom like it is now, that would be kind of what we would call a Dreamcast kind of moment. And, yeah. So I guess it would be on brand with the Sega controller. It's the cord for the blast processor. That's right. That cord there makes the fucking Segas, the blue things, do fast stuff. Just thought you might want to know. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, Alan, I'm not even trying to pick on you, because you're a good dude. You've been around for a long time. And sometimes I know I come off as harsh, and I'm not like targeting or picking on you. But honestly, if you're going to focus on things like that, what are you doing with your life? Really? Honestly. If something like that is going to bother you, you might want to take a breath, go outside, Find yourself a body of water just to sit next to and just watch it. Watch it. And then the important shit will start, coming in, and all the bullshit will start going out. It's wonderful, man. It's wonderful. But I never noticed, nor did I care to know. All I know is I took a picture of me in a hoodie with a skull mask on it. Actually, I could show you the exact fucking picture. The buddy Mike's messaging me right now. I've been giving him like little guitar tips. He's really doing well. He's trying to learn how to play. He's got this acoustic guitar. There's a hand-me-down from a niece of his. And he's trying to do an E chord, an E minor chord. But they're teaching him to do this shit right away. I'm like, just get your fingers used to it. Get your fingers used to making the chord before you start removing it and trying to put it back on. It's a cool sound, but you gotta crawl before you can get your dick in someone's hole. Ba-dum-bum. Where the fuck is that picture? What the fuck? I don't think this was the exact one I used because there's not enough of me in it. But it was a picture of me. Actually, no, there was another one I kind of did like this, like a sideways one. And yeah, it was. I just put it into Gemini and said, "Can you make me look like an EC comic character?" And that's what they did. They gave me that. They spit out a picture that was cool, and I asked them to hold. It was originally, if you remember correctly, an Atari style joystick, and the Atari freaked out when I put it on a T-shirt. And then I had to make it look like it was made of bones, and Atari still fucking freaked out. So I said, all right, I want you to make a controller that's an amalgamation of Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. Actually, I think I just said that. Can you cross those two together? And I think it did it perfectly, actually. Except for your extra cord. But yeah, I mean, the world's in a perfect place. Screws fall out all the time. I was thinking about introducing my daughters to that movie, The Breakfast Club. I don't think it holds up today very well at all, actually. The worries of the early 80s are not even close to the worries of today, and I think they would look at it and be like, really? And then they would look at me and be like, would you have even showed up, Dad? And I'd be like, no. No. Come to school on Saturday. They would try to give me morning detention. I'm like, bitches, I can't get here on time as it is. And I know that's your typical teenage attitude kind of, response. And the idea was to punish you for it and then get you into the idea of doing it. I've never been a morning person. Ever, never, ever, never. Nor do I care to be. Actually, that's not true. Because there are plenty of times, like 4 a.m, that I'd have to wake up. And I'd be okay once I was up. But it was just that whole, fuck, it's 4 a.m. And I'm fighting and all this shit. What Nintendo don't? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Nintendo doesn't have 2 cords coming off of their controllers. In fact, I might have someone 3D print me a controller and just have 2 spots for fucking cables. And I'll fucking loop it inside, come out, up, back, in, and around. And we'll give it away. We'll give it away as the official Creeper. The Creeper cord controller. As sponsored by Alan and his rad fucking base of knowledge. Because you do. You have a really good... You got a good head on your fucking shoulders, man. And I ask, paint me like one of your French Grim Reapers. Actually, you know what? I might do that. Let's see what it'll do. Hold on. You're still here, Alan, are you? I hope you didn't get mad or upset at me. I wasn't really, trying to be a dick, but I just genuinely don't care about, simple things like that. All right, hold on. I'm going to take a selfie. All right, there we go. I'll show you the selfie. Yay. See, this is the type of stream I fucking enjoy. Chudley, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? All right, so I'm going to put the picture in here from the gallery. Yeah, please paint me like one of your French Grim Reaper. And I'm going to say girls because, I mean, the whole thing said paint me like your French girls, right? And I always put a little please in there just in case it does take over eventually. I don't want Gemini coming to me and be like, you didn't say please for that picture. Sometimes you have to tell it to actually create the picture. Otherwise, it'll be like, all right, let's see this in real time. You'll see it probably before me. Let's see what it does. Did I even spell anything? Let me know. Here it comes. Here it comes. It's coming. Get ready for it. I can't generate the image you requested right now due to interest of a third-party content provider. Please edit your prompt again. What third party? Please paint me like one of your French Grim Reaper girls. That's all it said. It was a picture of me. What the fuck? What third party? That was a selfie of me. The fuck? Hold on. God damn it.
Photo to the image generator, the system analyzes it to understand and fulfill your request. The generation process was paused because elements of your shirt were identified as potentially belonging to third-party content providers.
Are you
To create the high-resolution Grim Reaper-themed image you're looking for, please provide a prompt that focuses on your requested transformation, or upload an image without that specific shirt.
Alright, so it's mad that I have Grogu inside of a fucking Haunted Mansion Doom buggy. Alright, let me recrop the picture. Hold on. You know, I just wanted to fucking do something fun. AI is going to take over the world, right? There we go. Fucking thing. This is why I don't use AI a lot. People are like, oh, AI, I don't use it all that often. All right. All right, can you generate it from that? Oh, hold on. Well, this fucking took a screeching halt, didn't it? The energy's all fucked up now. Let's see, what do we got here? Violation. That comment you left made me laugh the other day. I'm glad, dude. I am so glad. James Cameron shut that right down. Well, no, it's Grogu in a Doom buggy. It was probably the Mickey ears. I bet you it was the Mickey ears. Oh, are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? It's even motherfuckers put Grogu in the bottom corner of the fucking picture. I'm pissed now. All right, you ready? I love the belly button and the fucking leather straps. And they fucking put Grogu in the bottom. What the fuck? That looks awesome, but I got a small problem with you. I mean, you didn't make the first one because Grogu was on the shirt, but then you put a Grogu into the image? How weird. Now it's going to be pissed at me. I don't give a fuck what its response is. We're going to upload that picture. Oh, wait, are you talking about James Cameron, like AI, T-800, Skynet, all that shit? As a big Terminator fan. Okay, I got a question for you guys. First of all, this came in a package with a bunch of stuff a while ago. And I can't remember exactly who sent it to me. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I would like to be able to thank you again personally. It's that game Hyper Sentinel. And it's on this like weird cassette thing. They also did like the next version of it. I think it was called like Hyper Sentinel Plus or something like that. But it was on a floppy disk. And when you slid the thing, a little USB drive came out. But this is one of those, and I got a couple of things that do this. Like I have a Halloween cassette, with spooky sounds and music from Fright Rags from a few years back. That has one of these. I can't find the game on it anywhere. I can't get it. I can find the images and all the extras and shit, but if anyone knows how to fucking make this thing work, there's no videos on it. And I'm not very bright. I even found the little thing that just said setup, and I set it up, and it did nothing, so. I'm going to put this in P90 mode. Why does that sound so tinny? Almost has a sitar sound. I might have to replace these saddles or something. I don't know. Or maybe the nut. Maybe I need to play with the nut a little bit. But either way. Oh God, who's texting me now? Virtual scheduling assistant. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So what's everybody up to, man? What's everybody up to? I hope Alan is still in here. I hope I didn't fucking hurt his feelings. I didn't mean to. Because I'll be honest with you, I'll be fucking sad if I don't get like Alan's little random little noodles of knowledge. And I learn about so many cool games and shit from them. Maybe I did come off a little harsh, but I don't focus on the little things. Like, I took my daughter to get a haircut today, right? Her hair was down to her fucking crack. And she just got so sick and tired of it. And she's like, I'm like, well, let's go get it cut. So I took her downtown. It looks great. It looks great. And the only thing fucking my lady could focus on is whether or not she could put it into a bun for her last, like, 2 or 3 dances, like, ever. She's a senior. She's going to be graduating in a few months. And there's only, like, 2 or 3 more fucking dance things to do. And, like, I, like, legit got mad at her. The 4th or 5th time she was talking, I was like, can you shut the fuck up about the bun already? Because sometimes this broad, when she fucking hyper fixates on something so stupid and then lets it just fucking go out of control. And even my daughter was like, Ma, shut up. Normally I would be like, excuse me? But this time I'm like, yeah, listen to the little one. She kind of got butthurt today too, but you know what? Don't hyper focus on stupid shit. I guess that's the lesson of today. Don't hyper fixate on stupid shit. And that includes me too. Oh fuck yeah! I sometimes lock on to something hard, and I have to fucking teach myself or tell myself, not that important, dude. Why bellyache about it, you know? So it's not like I'm not fucking super guilty of it too. God, I love this pickup so much. Okay, I'm curious to see what. That's a very perceptive point, and I understand why it feels contradictory. I can explain the thing. Oh, Jesus Christ, he went on and on. Hold on, where's the microphone? Microphone. I was just breaking your balls anyway. Thanks for the image. We all had a good chuckle. There we go. There we go. I make sure AI doesn't want to eat my face or anything like that. I also got the final supplies I need to the amp to spit out like a weird random noise. It was just like a doing. Guitar didn't do anything. To actually start building this guitar kit I got. I got this thing from a company I keep calling it a clot because I'm vulgar that way at times. But they're called Aklot. A-K-L-O-T. A clot, I don't know. But they got two kits. They have this and like a Stratocaster. I think it's HSS, which is actually pretty cool. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of those. But they make a couple of really cool, like really inexpensive Strata guitars that apparently people are really enjoying. And if the guitars themselves are the quality this kit is, I mean, this kit is actually one of their guitars, just never finished, you know? They just said, all right, let's make the raw pieces, get it kind of ready to go, in the box, and out the door it goes. But they have like a Randy Rhoads style offset flying V that kind of has like a bottle opener vibe to it. Here, I'll fucking try to find it, man. What a sexy fucking guitar. I would really like to get my hands on it eventually. Acklot. Let me see if I can pull up a fucking good image of it. Yeah, there we go. Let me open it in a new fucking tab, and I'll share it with you guys. Of course, it's going to be the fucking smallest picture on the planet. Why wouldn't it be, right? Why wouldn't it fucking be? All right, let me. You know what? Let's do it this way. No. There we go. Can you see that? Can you see that tiny little guitar picture? Oh, let me make it bigger. Oh my God. Let me make it bigger for you. There. That's all you're getting. But that looks pretty cool. I think it's like under $200, like $140. No, I would like to discard the image. Thank you. And now I'm going to fix this and then come back into here. There we go. Now I need to see you. I always need to remind myself, save the details for the polish phase. Polish, I'm sorry, there's a blob of fucking thing there. I was like, what the hell is a polish phase? When doing mapping, but it applies to a lot. It really does. It does. Duke Nukem Forever, which means don't prioritize the jokes on the soda label over the actual gameplay. Wise words. Wise words. Fucking love that chord. If you know the words. Get my rock star pose on. Oh. Great fucking song. Great song. No, I did two riffs at once there. Fucking song. It was on the radio the other day when I got in my car. It just suck when you turn on the car and a fucking song is like at the end and you're just like, damn it, I wanted to fucking jam to that, man. I wanted to jam. You know, it's a great song when even Faith No More covers is good. Did they do a cover of that? Oh, on the Solar, no, that's there, Solar Soul. Nativity in Black. That first one. When they there's a couple of different pressings of that. The very first Nativity in Black had so many songs, but then they cut most of them off for like the next subsequent printings of that album. The only song on there I felt was a missed opportunity was Typo Negative doing the song Black Sabbath. And the reason is because I thought they were perfect for it. But they just fucked it all up. It sounded so horrible. It was a Voivod that did... Alright, you know what? I guess making it a little clean today. And then the singer came in with like this delay thing. Welcome to the centuries through supersonic years. Fucking love that song, man. Love that song. I love most of Sabbath's songs. There's really not too many songs that I just hit the skip button to. You know, and for a metal band that supposedly was evil as fuck, I mean, that groove. Oh, I forgot how to play that. Tony was the man. Tony Iommi is the man. He just recently got a guitar from Brian May. Brian May had his Red Special reproduced. And for a lot of his musician friends, like Tony Iommi and a couple others, he actually had very special ones created that were part of like their vibe and shit. Great song. Soundgarden did Into the Void. Okay. Wait a minute, that wasn't Into the Void, was it? That's, I just made it so much more metal. Maybe it is Into the Void, huh? I know Metallica did that on that stupid revisited. Close. Alright, now it's gonna bug me. I don't know, I forget. But yeah, the very first Nativity in Black, a tribute to Black Sabbath, fantastic album. A lot of really interesting bands playing like songs that were just like right in there. But Corrosion did one song and it bugs me now. Which one did they do? I'm not looking it up. Hello, creepers! Hope everyone is enjoying their lives today. What's up, Potion Man? What a fucking fantastic way to jump into a fucking chat. Thank you for bringing that fucking positivity, man. I don't know if you guys saw my post, but the last of the Thumb Buddies are out the door. They're making their way to Honolulu, Hawaii. A place I wish I could just jam myself into that little small USPS flat rate box and jam myself into. And although I don't really know much about the islands of Hawaii other than they're very tropical. and poi. You know, I'm not being disrespectful. That's honestly what I know. That's what I know. I do know they had a terrific scare a handful of years ago. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but everybody on the island of Hawaii got a message on their phone and TVs and stuff saying there was an imminent nuke on its way, and they were pretty much all dead within 20 minutes. What a fucking horrible afternoon. And it turned out, of course, somebody hit the wrong button somewhere and the message got sent out. But can you imagine that? You're literally there thinking these are the last moments you're going to spend with your family. And I'm sure there were people huddled together praying or, you know, doing whatever that they do in their household for whatever. You know, some people probably were getting it on. They're like, fuck it, one more good one to end the existence of us. But then it turned out to be fake. And I wonder how many people just like for days were traumatized about that. Can you imagine just one button by accident? And you just traumatize an entire state of fucking people. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Yeah, you remember that, huh? I mean, we can laugh about it now, but ooh-wee. That's crazy. But Hawaii seems like a really beautiful place. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. I wasn't planning on playing any games, but if you guys want me to play some Atari or something, let me know. I'll whip out the controller and we'll start playing the controller with only one cord, unfortunately. It's not as fucking powerful as his controller. Alan, are you in here, dude? Come on. I'm starting to feel bad. Please let me know that you're still in here. God damn it. I feel awful. I hardly ever do, by the way. I hardly ever do. But in that case, it wasn't meant to hurt feelings. I just don't focus on dumb shit like that. I never have, never will. Wow, I was way off on that one, huh? I'm actually going to be working on a video for the other channel. I got the notes right here for it. Let me pull up all my notes on Papper here. What do we got here? 5 easy riffs to make you feel powerful. Powerful. And that's one of them. This part right here. I just love that chord. So metal. I would almost put that, if I were to say the word easy, maybe like a slight bit higher than easy, but it's still really fun once you get the fucking groove going on, you know? Hey, what's up, Puppet Brad's Gaming? Hello, creepers. The metal. Nothing can stop the metal. Nothing can kill the metal? I don't know. I should learn how to play that fucking song. That's a lot of noodly, though. You know? A lot of noodle. But yeah, 5 easy riffs to make you feel powerful. And then the next guitar, like, playing video, I'm going to do is going to be 5 riffs from bands I fucking hate. But I love the 5 riffs I love from bands I fucking hate. And that one's going to be fun because I only have one so far, Heart Shaped Box. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a single riff from Pearl Jam that I like. I'm not really a Pearl Jam kind of guy. In fact, if there were any band from that time, that little pocket of the Seattle scene, grunge, alternative, whatever you want to call it, you call it what you like. I didn't like it. I didn't like a lot of it. I liked Alice in Chains. I did like Soundgarden. And STP was pretty cool. I dug them. They were what they were, you know what I mean? They were like a garage band version of Pearl Jam. But they didn't have Eddie Vedder, which made them better. I can't stand Pearl Jam. I don't know why. They have such an enormous, to this day, cult following. People who will fucking rip their faces off for them if they ask them to. And good for them. You know, they didn't make bad music. Maybe it is Eddie Vedder's voice. Maybe it was just something about how he did a lot of the vibration thing all the time. And like the mopiness. I mean, this fucking guy has like selling out stadiums, and he's up there fucking moping. And I'm like, I get it. You got famous and you didn't expect to, but it's like, you know who was probably one of the most grateful fucking people I've ever seen on stage? Ever, ever, ever. And that's not to say that I haven't seen grateful fucking musicians. But at one of the Ozfests, Linkin Park was playing. And let me tell you when I saw the gratitude on that guitar player's face the whole time playing, he exuded thank you to the crowd. Hardly ever said it. I mean, he did say, yo, thanks for coming out, Ozfest, Boston, whatever the fuck. I think it was at Great Woods. I don't know what they call it now. Probably Enter Corporation name here, stadium or something like that. But Great Woods was one of those kind of like amphitheater things. Not amphitheater, like half of it was covered, but it was all outside. And you had the lawn section, which I always got. I didn't give a shit about the sitting down and watching anything. But I always liked the lawn because the pits were better up there. Well, they were the only place you could really safely do the pit. But I just hate Pearl Jam. I fucking hate Pearl Jam. What have you been playing game-wise? I really haven't. I haven't had time. Yesterday we streamed. We played some Beam Rider. We played some Galaxian. I think we did some bowling, but I was really just pressing buttons just to have something to do while talking. I wasn't even paying attention to where the ball was going or anything. Last night was just I'm by myself. Let me see if my friends are online. And it was a good time. We had a couple of good discussions yesterday. Do I remember any of them? No. But that's because this is bad. I got bad noodles. I have been playing my actual Intellivision lately. I've been trying to play the Galaxian for that. I still haven't gone in and checked his message on Atari Age to see if maybe the file got better. I want to make a video on that. But I've been playing Astro Smash on the original Intellivision, and I've also been playing. I played E.T. a few rounds, and I went to play Brian Mancave's Keystone Cops or whatever it's called. And the file just all of a sudden just doesn't fucking work anymore. So I don't know. The RTO Pi 2 is a great, great, great device. But let me tell you something. It's like a high maintenance woman. Gorgeous. Really worth sticking it in. But what a fucking problem it can be. Way too much high end here. Holy fucking nollies. Bottom end, come on in. There we go. I just add a little bit more saturation to it. Oh, my volume wasn't up. I'm like, where are the squealies? Although this pickup doesn't really do squeals all that well. It's not like a high output pickup. Oh, I fucked that up, huh? Fucking love Dime, man. I miss that dude. I miss that dude so much. Hey, what's up, Steve? Steve, let's see. Eddie Vedder saw Marlon Brando in The Godfather and brought some cotton wool and tried it. Oh my God, that is probably one of the best descriptions I have ever fucking heard. I heard another description about fucking Dropkick Murphys. Yes, I'm Irish. Yes, I'm from Boston. No, I don't give two fucks about them. In fact, they become such a cliche thing. It's not because they're popular. I don't mind popular bands. But they just become so cliche. And can I tell you, I am so sick of shipping up to Boston. I really am. They have so many songs that are infinitely better than that fucking stupid song they wrote for The Departed. And like even my kid's fucking high school band plays it all the time, you know? So tired of it. But someone described them as the Mariah Carey of St. Patrick's Day. And I can't say I disagree with that at all. So Steve says, happy Saturday, chat and creep. Right back at you, my friend. Right back at you. Papa says, oh, excuse me. I've been playing a lot of ACT games, pinball, and arcade games. Right on, man. I played Make Treks last week. What is that? Make Tracks. Oh, my God. A Williams Arcade deep cut. I think I'm somewhat familiar with it, but maybe not. Paintbrushes and cats. Yeah, paintbrushes and cats. Why'd you say it twice? I didn't. Does anyone know what the front of that joke is? No, why'd you have to say that twice? I didn't. Creep, were you ever in a rock band? I was in a couple, yeah. I like Flogging Molly. I do too. I like them both, but it's like, I don't know, people celebrate them, and like they're only relevant like once a year. Or if someone makes a movie that's based in Boston. Rock band, yeah, I've been in a couple. My very first one was a thrash metal band called Population Death Rate. We basically had my guitar, my amp, and we bought a small PA setup for the singer, who he's long gone now. Heroin got his ass. This is back at junior high and high school. And that was the last band I was in until about the mid-90s, probably 93, 94. I graduated high school, started doing like a career thing. I had a kid with the girl I was dating at the time in high school. Excuse me, my senior year. Wonderful kid. Done way better than his old man has ever. And then around 94, 5, 96, I started in bands. I was in a band called Fat Satchel. I was in a band called King of the Rats. I was in a band called Noise. And I auditioned for a number of bands. I was actually going to audition when I was in Arizona. There's a band locally out there. I'm sure some of you know of them. They're kind of like a comedy metal band called... oh my God. Their name is escaping me, but they have songs like Beer, It Are Go Good with Pizza, and Orgasm Equals Love. That's a great song. The name will come to me. But they were looking for a guitar player, and I was going to audition, but the girl I was with at the time was like, I don't want you fucking touring and shit. I was like, all right. I was in my early 30s, you know. Psycho Stick, that was the name of the band, Psycho Stick. I never actually auditioned for them. But I signed up to, but then canceled. I like the Irish punk thing. I do too. Not all the time, but occasionally. Yeah, it can get old real quick. Bagpipes get old fast. Boston should have a statue of Lenny Clark. You know what? There's a place up not too far from me called, the place is called Prince Pizza. They're the family that used to do Prince Pasta and all that shit, and they sold that part of the brand off. And they got this famous place called Prince Pizza. It's got the Leaning Tower in front of the place. And off to the side, they have a little comedy club called Giggles. And Lenny Clark's there all the time. In fact, for Valentine's Day, I think it was Valentine's Day. It was either that or my girlfriend's birthday. Not this year, but the previous year, Lenny Clark was heading up a show. He's a really funny prick. He's a good dude. I like him. I like him a lot. He got heckled a few times and fucking destroyed them. Dude got up and left. Just destroyed him. Didn't even give him a fucking second. The guy started getting mouthy. Boom! Threw it right at him. I think the guy called him like broke or something like that. An old broke fucking comedian. He's like, let me tell you a story. I was at the fucking Playboy Mansion. And I got a message from fucking Belichick. I don't know how true it was, but he was talking about how he was looking for this, that, or the other thing or whatever. It's like, so am I broke? The Playboy Mansion, Bill Belichick. Guess he goes, hangs out the. I guess he was married to this smoking hot chick that was part of the Playboy thing. I don't know. That's the only reason he got in there. I was in a punk band in my 20s. Right on. I never did the punk thing. I loved the early punk attitude. Like, we're talking like the 70s shit. Like the real deal punk stuff. Not this. That's another band I don't like. Talented. Billy Corgan's talented. But I just don't like Green Day. I can't stand them. That was a long time ago in a universe far, far away. Go woke, get broke. I have a picture I took of myself holding a guitar, and I have a ceiling fan right here. You wouldn't believe it, but I do. And the ceiling, actually, I might still have the picture. And I made like an album cover. Actually, I bet you the album cover's still in here. Let me look it up. And it said, I'm not woke, but I'm still broke. Oh, man. They're going crazy downtown. We're not getting into a political discussion. Fuck, maybe I shouldn't even bring it up. But there's a whole bunch of the no king shit going on. You know, and I can say this without even fucking... without picking a side. Some of these fucking people need to just grow up. Realize that fucking kings have less power than a president, right? No matter who the president is. Maybe I don't have that image anymore. Maybe I don't. That's too bad. It was a funny album cover. All right, well, I'm pretty sure I have the actual picture itself. It was an early one on this fucking phone, so I know that. Let me scroll all the way down. Hey, I still have pictures from Video Games Live in here. Tommy, me, Rich Haywood. Mike Mullis is in the background of one of them. I didn't really get any pictures with him. I didn't really want to. Nice guy. Really nice guy. And this kid was awesome. But it was just something a little, you know. I don't think our personalities clashed very well. Well, they did clash. They, you know, he's a nice guy, but not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Oh, that's too bad. I guess I don't have either picture. I thought I still had the... Oh, no, I do have the original. And because the light was on and everything, it almost looked like there was a cross behind me. So I made that look like a record album. I'm not woke, but I'm still broke. It rhymed. It was funny. It was on my mind. I remember he was always on Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. Oh, my God. I don't remember seeing Tough Crowd, but, you know. Bears fan, what's up, dude? What's going on? I don't think I remember that show. I remember Colin Quinn, absolutely. Grogu wearing a Musketeers cap is Pete Creep. He's in a Doom buggy, a Haunted Mansion Doom buggy, too. My girlfriend got me this shirt. I love Grogu. I love the Haunted Mansion. Never mind the Mickey stuff. Mickey's like a like the mascot of an evil conglomeration. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with Disney. It has nothing to do with Star Wars. It's just, like, the Haunted Mansion is like one of my most favorite things of all time, ever, you know? One of my favorite things on this planet is the haunted house aesthetic, you know? And I have tons of toys. I have tons of, like, I probably have a couple right here. Actually, I literally have a haunted house right here. I have... Oh, I used to have it up here. You remember the Ideals toy? It was this blue thing. It was like a game, and you would twist it. I have that. I have one of those. I have a bunch of little haunted house like trinkets and stuff. There's a Hot Wheels and a Matchbox haunted house like kind of play set thing with the cars. I have those. I have the Weevils haunted house up there, but I have a whole bunch of Count Von Count figures surrounding them and shit. I've just, if I got rid of all my collection of everything, the haunted house stuff would just stay. It would just be what I did, you know? But I love haunted houses, and you don't get any more iconic. I mean, I just did the Lego haunted house thing. Maybe I should do a video of that. My girlfriend got me, not the great big one with the drop tower, or the fright monster frighteners or whatever it was called from way back in the day. There's like a little $80 kit that you can get, the creator kit. It's like a 3-in-1. And I just built that. Really fantastic set. Really fantastic set. If you're into Lego. I mean, I always say I'm not into Lego, but I have tons of it. So I guess I'm kind of into it. I mean, fuck, even behind me, there's the Atari 2600, the Game Boy, a random arcade machine, and like a little arcade machine, and all that stuff. Even better that it's the Haunted Mansion carriage. Yeah, I love Doom buggies. One of my dream projects is to get one of these that maybe are a little bit broken and restore it as like a piece of furniture in the living room, you know? I've always wanted, or maybe just make one. I don't know how I'd make a full-size Doom buggy. I made a Doom buggy T-bucket style hot rod, 3D printed. I 3D printed the Doom buggy and realized it was the same size as your average, model car kit. So I went on to Thingiverse and I found a hot rod kit, and you printed the body and then the chassis and all the stuff separately. So then I put that into Tinkercad, I think it was, and I took the model from the Haunted Mansion Doom buggy and made it fit on that thing. Like I literally I used it as a stamp basically, the Doom buggy, onto the chassis. That way when I printed it out, my Doom buggy that was already printed and ready to go would just slot right in there, and it looks pretty cool. It's in the studio, and I don't feel like getting up to go get it right now. But the Hatbox Ghost is not at Disney World. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. They put it to the left of the candelabra. The candelabra, the hallway there where you see it. Stupid place for him. I wish he was in the attic, like in the original Haunted Mansion. I like the aesthetic of Disney World's more, but Disneyland's Haunted Mansion is the OG and it is the standard. So that is the GOAT. But I like the outside aesthetic better, and maybe because it's in Liberty Square and I'm used to that kind of Victorian / colonial kind of vibe. I mean, I have cobblestone showing through the potholes, literally right outside my window. So, but no, the Disney World Haunted Mansion absolutely has the Hatbox Ghost. It's just put in a fucking stupid place, really stupid place. The Lego kit a couple of weeks ago, maybe, yeah. I streamed with a Frankenstein poster behind me. That's awesome. I gotta fucking remember to come check you out, dude. Please forgive me. It's not out of any disrespect. It's just, there are so many channels. I don't ever get notifications, and I honestly can only remember so many people. My head has been hit so many times over the years. I have genuine memory issues, and that's why I got a fuck ton of pieces of little paper around me. If you think I'm fucking joking, I could just keep, they just keep fucking coming with all kinds of notes and shit, and I have to review them daily to make sure I'm not forgetting things. I don't think it's Alzheimer's. It could be. Link down below. That makes it easier. I got a really cool thing coming in this coming week. I can't wait to fucking do it for you, show it to you. I think you're going to be surprised. Surprised. Did they add them in? Yeah, a couple of years back. It has been a while. Disney is big money to visit. It is. And that sucks because, like, Walt's whole fucking thing was that I want families just to come. I don't want them not, you know. Fucking Disney. That sounded like something from the new wave of British fucking heavy metal, early 80s. Okay. I thought somebody was coming home. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, no problem, brother. Friend of mine, he's trying to do an E chord. Mike, if you're in here, here we go. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it. That's what they're trying to get him to do, and it's just like, get used to the chord first, then like remove one finger. You know, and then as soon as you learn that chord, if Mike, you're watching, as soon as you're done with that chord, I want you to play this. Oh, I messed that up. Ah! There it is. I heard Disney World has its own jail. I know it has a holding area. Adam the Woo has been to it. He got escorted up there and trespassed for like 2 years for showing, was it Disney World or Disneyland? I think it was Disney World. I'm pretty sure it's Disney World. But they have a security area. I don't know if it's a full jail. I'm going to look into that. In fact, I'm just going to ask Google right now. Does Disney World have its own jail cells? Yes, Walt Disney World has security holding areas, informally known as Disney Jail, used to detain guests who break park rules or engage in illegal activities. There are no traditional jail with bars, but rather secure, plain offices. Your typical fucking, you know, you steal something from Target and they catch you. And they bring you into this little fucking room. I was locked up by Goofy. Fucking Goofy. You broke the rules. You know what's going to happen. Cavity search time. I get the Goofy snaggle teeth thing going on. I could be Goofy for fucking Disney. I'm working class. Everything is ridiculously expensive. Everything goes up but your paycheck. Yeah, absolutely. Or outside foods. Yeah, Disney has a lot of fucking weird rules. But I will say the first time I ever went was, you know, with this family here. And what, you know, we've been a couple of times together, 3 times together since I've been here in just over a decade. And the only reason we've been able to do it is because we paid it off over 2 years or a year and a half before we even went. We have a local high school friend that's a travel agent. So we reach out to her, and we'll give her like $400 here, $300 there. And what ends up happening is you get kickbacks from Disney, like a little Disney card for like $200. So it kind of pays off to do that. So we end up having to plan so far ahead. And we trickle it, you know, we trickle it between myself and the missus. And then we also save up on the side. Like, we'll do stupid shit like the soda cans, you know. Whatever money we get from that will literally go into, like, the Disney While We're There fund. And one of the things I did the last time we went was I had a Les Paul Tribute that I went up to Guitar Center and got $800 for, and said, there you go, this is my Disney money, because I was not coming home without my Darksaber from Galaxy's Edge, and I'll be damned if I didn't fucking get one of those. I got one. There's few things in life that I really, you know what I mean? For the most part, I don't really care about objects and shit, but I try to live simple, but I get too much crap around here. I'm actually putting a tote together to go up to Sabres here in the next couple of days. But you know what, guys? Go over to my Etsy shop. Seriously. There are items on there that would pertain to, like, this channel's vibe, you know? There's some VFD games and tabletop stuff like that. And I'm going to be putting more things on there throughout the thing. And I would rather you reach out to me privately and say, hey, up on Etsy you have this. Can we work something out? Then have you pay what it's going to cost with Etsy and all that shit. And then the fucking fees and all that bullshit. The only benefit I have to doing it on Etsy is, one, it gets it out there to more people. And two, shipping is a little cheaper than if you did it on your own. Like I did a package today. The very last 2 Thumb Buddies are gone. No more. No mas. No more will they exist. I do have 2 more sets that are purple. And I need to clean up the backs. I still haven't cleaned up all the casting marks and shit. I still haven't cleaned them up. But of course they take fees and shit. But the shipping is usually a couple bucks cheaper because it's through them. That's really the only benefit. But I have a ColecoVision game up there, not one of the tall like Miss Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. It's its own like little thing. Actually, it's a really fun game. I think it's called like Alien Attack or something like that. I can't remember. I got a Tandy machine up there. And I got a boxing one that no, the boxing one is destroyed. I'm turning that into a prop because we worked on it, but it never really came through. Where is that? I have a in the box football game. It was over here to take pictures. What the fuck did I do with it, man? If I remember correctly, this was it was a Sears one. How weird. It was right fucking here. Anyway, it was a Sears electronic football game. Not the little one, that Mattel made, but it was, a substantial size. But I got stuff like that up there, and I'll have other things there too soon. Because I really do want to filter out all my shit, and I want to gather some money to put into my business here. My business. It was on track, but it kind of took a detour. I have a couple of those up there too, if you're interested. Again, if you want to do it privately, it might save you $1 or $2. Just reach out. Of course, if you buy multiple things, of course, I'll fucking cut you a really good deal. But I'm trying to raise money doing that. And one thing I'm trying to avoid, and I'm going to avoid it as long as I possibly can. But if by the summer I'm not going, I may fucking do a GoFundMe. I fucking hate to say that. Like, it's giving my stomach aches, and it would only be for like $2,000. But everyone keeps telling me, my lady, the kids, our friends and family, they're like, just fucking do a GoFundMe. Don't ask for a fucking retarded amount of money. Literally calculate what you need to make it happen proper. And I'm like, let me try to do it my way first. And they're like, well, is your way working? I said, well, no, because I haven't really been doing it. And they said, well, keep that in mind. And what I would do with that is we have a place here in town that's like an art place. And they rent out rooms for like $200 a month. I would put probably 3 months down on that and then spend the rest of it on supplies. And just spend like a month in that fucking hole every fucking day, just grinding and grinding, creating molds and popping out product. Because I think where I'm really going to hit where I'm going to really go is there are a lot of reptile conventions around here, reptile expos. I'm going to probably get a table for one of those eventually. I'd like to have like a little banner made up, but I don't know if I would use any of the money from that. I know a lot of people scarf. I'm not an e-beggar, and nor do I wish ill on anyone who does the e-begging thing. I know there's a lot of contention to that. within certain fucking circles of douchebags. In fact, there were some people that would put that in their intro. And now they're monetized. Get the fuck out of here. You fucking flip-flopping fish ass. But I don't know if I would even tell you guys about it. I would just put it out there and let God decide if people are going to find it. Honestly. I'm embarrassed to even bring it up. Never mind make it. I did a GoFundMe once. My doctor made my hip issue more dire than they needed to. Like, I really thought I was going to be crippled or dead within 5 years. Because of the way he said it was deteriorating. And once your sacrum crushes, it goes, all your nerves run through it. So I'm like, I had a bike frame and I just wanted to get parts for it. So my girlfriend put together this GoFundMe for like $500 or $600. I think one friend put $100 in there. I bought, I think, what did I buy? I bought handlebars. I got a set of handlebars and a tank. And then I ended up selling it. And I asked him if he wanted it back, and he said no. He said, no, dude. Hang on to it. I just sandwich shop, and he used to eat there free all the time, so it was a give and take, you know. But I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on shit like GoFundMe for something like that, you know? You know, $2,500, $2,000. You know, someone told me to put $5. I'm like, fucking, what am I going to do with $5,000? I don't need that much money. Honestly, $2 would be perfect. $2 would be perfect. But I'm going to hold off on even fucking bothering with any of that. But I'm curious as to what you guys think. And be honest. Be honest. Don't fucking make fun of me for having it as an option. But if it's one of those things that you're just like, because I've perused it. And there are some that are like, you know, my sister has cancer, and we just don't have the money to do the thing. And I get that. You know, that's important. Keeping your loved ones alive is kind of important. But I also saw one that says, look, I'm just going to be honest, I need beer money. And he put $500 up there and had like $3,000. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know something like mine, I'm trying to start a small business. I'm sure a lot of people will be like, fuck that kid. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm curious as to what you guys think about, like GoFundMe and stuff like that. If you just need a little bit of startup, you know, and you just can't seem to make it fucking happen proper. I'm still working on it, don't worry. And I have a custom commission that I've been working on. I think you guys will like it. He wanted me to create a somewhat realistic looking second dungeon exterior from The Legend of Zelda, the original 1987 game. 87? But yeah, the gold card. But he wants me to build that, so I have a bunch of foam over there I'm supposed to be carving, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I don't think he wants to do money. I think he wants to trade tattoo work, which I could really use. I could really use this fucking totally repaired or covered up. But either way, I mean, I'm happy with all this shit. People want to fix this all the time. I'm like, dude, this was done with a homemade gun with guitar strings as the needle. And hours of him literally just doing this while drinking and having a good time, you know. And if you look at it real close, you can definitely tell, right? Yeah, right there, that's perfect. But I'm like, you know what? That was a time period I want to remember. I want to remember. Those are the days where, like, we would drop fucking tabs of acid or mescaline and listen to, like, Suicidal Tendencies and we had this video camera where we would, like, fucking do zoom-ins on our eyeballs and picking our noses and shit, thinking we were being artistic. Fucking stupid kids. 15, 16 years old. Having a good time. My dad lost his shit when he saw this. He was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, Dad, you're a minister. It's a Celtic cross, man. Are you kidding me? No. Oh, man. I was locked up by Goofy. That's great. Yeah, that's Goofy, right? Going, you got some cool items up in your Etsy shop. Yeah, I used to have a whole lot more, like a lot of my figures, but they weren't fucking selling. No one gave a shit, so I took them down. I got boxes of figures and stuff that probably will never go anywhere. I appreciate that, BS fan, though. Disney beefed up security after the incident at Walt Disney World in '83. Refresh my memory on that violation. What happened in '83? I think you got a lot to show. Start with beauty shots. You know what? That's probably a good... And make a little video, like an actual nice video. Saying, hey, you know, my name's Chris. Show a card, show a bunch of things that I made. Tell the story, you know. I have pictures of the very high that started the idea. I was in, like, I think it was a PetSmart or a Petco, one of those two. And there was a skull mound hide. It was just all by itself. Never seen one before, never seen one after. But I bought it, painted it, and had a great time doing it. And throughout the years, oh, excuse me, you know, you go into the pet stores and it's the same fucking thing. Coconut shells and half logs, which are all fine. You know? And then you get that big quarter tree stump one, which I do have. But it's all the same fucking bullshit. It's boring. Boring. So I'm creating a few that I think are not as boring. And the thing that sucks is there's a lot of people, especially in the Facebook ball python groups or reptile groups, that are clamoring for it. They saw mine and were like, fuck yeah. One lady said, I will buy 3 of them right now. I sent her the link and it's fucking ghost towns, like crickets. One person sent a picture of their tank and said it would fit my aesthetic perfectly. I said, because you're so rad and that was really just a dry brush that they did on the things that are in your tank, I'd be more than happy to do that without any extra cost just to get one out the door. Crickets. Ghost town. Your reptile hides are freaking cool, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But honestly, I want to know you guys' thoughts on it. Come on, engage, motherfuckers. What are your thoughts on those for something legitimate like this? Are you like, no, that's e-bagging, I can't stand it? Are you neutral? Are you, yeah, as long as you have something to show and you know, I wouldn't never fucking do like a crowdfunding thing. Fuck no, fuck crowdfunding. Although what would I ever have that would require something like that, you know? I'm going to make a creep console. What's up, Uncon? What's going on? I had to take a piss test today. I was supposed to take it the other day, but they never got back to me, so I went to go take it today. And it was the weirdest piss test. Well, it wasn't weird. It was just, I've never seen it done like this. When I worked for the government, sometimes they would actually take little hairs. They would take a few of your follicles. But more times than not, you pee in a cup. But this lady did it right there in the office. It was like this big fucking sponge. This cotton sponge that you put in your mouth and you just let it absorb all the mush in your mouth. And then they put it in there, and it had like the little color code things, like you dip into your pool to see what your pH balance is, something like that. I was just like, really? That's what we're doing? She's like, yeah, but you gotta make sure you don't use amphetamines, you don't use opioids, heroin included. I'm like, what about weed? She's like, we don't give a fuck about that. Just don't show up on it. I'm like, nice. Warehouse gig. I'm still pissed off. I'm fucking angry that the other thing fucking fell through. But the only consolation I have is it had nothing to do with me. Had nothing to do with my mental health. I was having such a good time. I actually made a couple friends. I've been texting back and forth with one of them. You know, he was a Hispanic young man that got into a lot of trouble in his youth. And he wants to get into like corrections or something like that. I wasn't sure how to go about it. I'm like, well, first of all, just apply. Just apply. If you do juvenile, you can almost probably get a job instantly as long as, you know, your records are old enough to where you're not being shown as a problem. But a young man, 24, 25, kind of taking him not under my wing or anything, but he was one of those trouble kids that had a gang thing. He was out on the West Coast, and his family moved him out here to get away from all that shit. And unfortunately, they moved to an area that has a lot of that shit still. But he's from out of town, so it doesn't really affect him too much, you know. But he's like, you know, when I was in juvie, there were actually some guards that cared. And I was glad to hear that. Because when I did juvenile, I did too. I actually assumed the a side role of advocate, as a youth advocate. And I would only do it for the ones who honestly deserved it. You know, I wouldn't advocate for a douchebag. If someone just continued to fuck up all the time, I wouldn't advocate for him. Yeah, I was happy to hear that. And he's just like, I'm so glad to hear that you did that. And so we've been kind of talking back and forth about it. Here in Massachusetts, and I don't know where else, if anywhere else they do it, but we have this thing every 2 years, I think it is, or maybe it's every year now, but it used to be every 2 years, called the Civil Service Exam. And that would be for if you wanted to become a police officer, a firefighter, or work in state corrections here in Massachusetts. And what you would do is you fill out your application for that. You'd pay you $200-300, whatever the fuck it is. And you would do your tests. And you would also, while the process is going on, list what the job was you were looking for. I want to be a police officer. And I'm willing to work in Melrose, Malden, Medford, Somerville, Saugus, Lynn. And then, depending on your scores and the cities that have the need, you may or may not get a job. There are people who do cut shit under the table. I got my first state job with a case of booze and a contribution to someone's campaign. Just the way it was back then. Because when you worked in juvenile here, it was called the Department of Youth Service. And we weren't really correction. They called us group workers. It was fucking... They always try to do the whole, because they're children. And some of these children fucking pop people. It's not the point. The point is that you would get hired as a contractor. And the only benefit you had to that was they couldn't force you to do overtime. But you had to sit and wait for someone to either like you to get a state position. And once you did that, you bumped up like $4 or $5 an hour. And I was a contractor for, I think, 1 month. And my brother came up to me and said, look, so-and-so's got a little thing going on this week. Maybe you might want to throw some money towards it. So I threw like $500 at the campaign. And I found out what his favorite fucking bottle was. And I went down to one of the local joints and was like, just get me a case of this. And I delivered it to his house, got it delivered. And I had a state job. That's how I got my first gig. I don't think that happens as much now. But that's just how it works. It wasn't even I was trying to be nefarious. I just wanted the fucking job. I had little children to feed, But he seems like a really good kid. Really good kid. And he really wants to do it to eventually work his way into advocacy type work, not PO work, but like within the prison system, like you go to him and he guides you, almost like a caseworker, I guess you would say. He wants to be the guy that helps people get educations while they're locked up. He wants to be the guy that helps you stay away from the trouble while you're locked up. Keeps an eye on the people who do the thing. But really good kid. But unfortunately, that contract got fucking pulled. And it is what it is. So I went out on my own and just fucking got a warehouse job. It's for a big company that we all know, but I'm not going to say who. I'm going to be like, not that there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I think it's fun. But I was hoping to build robots. Might sound silly, but even dramatic lighting and smoke, a bowl to add some atmosphere and cinematics. No. It's been like 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks since I've even been on the porch smoking a bowl. I genuinely, guys, only use it when I need it, honestly. There'll be long spurts where I won't even touch it. And there'll be long spurts where every night I have to fucking hit the bowl a few times. That's just the nature of PTSD. I don't control it. I just found out there's a certain strain of fucking sativa that works really well. I have to look at the terpenes and see which ones, I found that a lot of citrus-based ones work very well for PTSD. So I will always go with the citrus-based kind of terpenes as one of the higher runner-ups. So I'm on there like a fucking chemist looking for the right stuff. And I will get low doses. I will get well under 25, 30. I think the highest we do here is 32 or 35 in Massachusetts, like at the dispensaries. But I'll always go 25 and under. I genuinely don't like altering my thoughts, my brain. I don't drink anymore. You know, I used to drink as a young man when I was in bands, but I think I just did it because that's what you did, you know. But just for no other reason, then I just don't. I mean, we had fun with those hard ciders, the Jason Voorhees hard ciders, those 4 different flavors. We had fun with that, and I caught a little bit of a buzz, but it's not for me. I don't like getting banged up. Do I enjoy it when I use it? Sure, of course I fucking do. But like I won't even take perks. I won't take perks or oxys when my hip really hurts bad. I'd rather just fuck my stomach up with ibuprofen. Honestly, it sounds weird to say that, but like my doctor would be like, I remember the first time I got low dose oxys for the hip. Remember, I told you they thought it was dire. They were telling me how dire this was. And after about a month of being on them, my girlfriend was just like, dude, you're fucking drooling, you're slurring, you can barely fucking function. And I didn't even realize it. I just thought, you know. And I started watching some of the videos I was making at the time. And I'm like, God damn. So I called my doctor up. And I'm like, dude, you should be a fucking shame to yourself for fucking giving this to people. A fucking shame to yourself. Oh my God, what a fucking evil medicine. That and there was a sleeping medication they gave me. I cut down a fucking tree in my backyard with a chainsaw in the middle of the night and didn't know anything about it. What the fuck? Ambien. I woke up one morning and my girlfriend was like, dude, the fucking neighborhood's pissed. I'm like, why? What happened? Because you were out there like 3 in the morning with your chainsaw cutting that tree down finally. It was? It's like, yeah, it's all loaded up in your truck ready to go. Thank God you didn't drive it down. I had zero recollection of it. Zero. Cut my fucking tree down. Some of these medications, man, they're fucking evil. And some people just abuse them. I just don't understand. I mean, I guess because I didn't quite get the addiction bug like some of my family members have, I will never understand. I guess on a small level I can because I was a cigarette smoker. And I quit for the girls here like 5 or 6 years ago coming up in May. I don't even know how long it's been. It hasn't been a decade, I know that, but... So I kind of understand the call to addiction, but fuck, man. How fucking ashamed of himself he should be. Yeah, it hurt, but not enough to fucking be a zombie. I don't see an issue with GoFundMes for your small businesses to get started. You're not an e-beggar. Oh, so you're talking about me personally. I mean in general, though. Just in general. But I see it. And the reason I want it in general is so people don't feel like they're talking directly to me, saying whether or not I should get it or not get it. It's going to take a little bit for me to even want to do it. So, and eventually you might be working as Sam Quinton escorting Ian Ferguson from death row to the lethal injection room. Dude, that was funny. And let me tell you something. The John Hancock character. Oh my God. Hey, Off Grid, what's going on, brother? Thanks for popping in, man. I drank a ton when I was in the Navy. Now it's been years since I've even drank a beer. Right on, dude. That's cool. And I got no issue with people who do drink. I got plenty of friends that they're probably fucking drinking right now. They're out in their yard doing whatever. Fucking, they got a couple of fucking Michelobs going down. These days, I don't trust anything I didn't personally yank out of the dirt myself. Really? Very cool. Very cool. I dig that attitude. Or behavior. Is that behavior or attitude? You gotta have a wing once in a while, you know? Yeah, man, I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off when I went back and looked at some of those videos and was like, after, I got the cloud from the Percocets, or the Oxys, out of my fucking brain. I was just like, what the fuck? You should be ashamed of yourself giving this to people. God damn. Because there are medications that are strong, that can eliminate pain, that doesn't even alter you even a little bit, you know? I can't remember what it's called, but my landlord has them. I remember one time my hip was really bad, and it was hurting so bad I was puking. And I was fucking going crazy with the ibuprofen, and he was just like, dude, if you don't take the fucking, the codones, try this. It's a high dose, but it won't fucking get you high. And I tried it, and it worked great. I forget what it was called, but I just don't. Medication scares me. It really does. It scares me. And not in the immediate. I'm more concerned with tomorrow, you know. Like, I have a medication here called Seroquel. And it's prescribed to me for panic attacks, which thank God I haven't had to take one in a long time. And actually, that's not true. I actually took a half of one the other day. To sleep. I couldn't fucking sleep. And for sleep. And I got these little 25s, and I usually cut them in half with a little pill cutter. But if I have to take one of those, I am committed to that pill for like a day and a half. Because the next day that's how weak my system is. Doctors are supposed to help cure their patients, not destroy them with garbage. Yeah, well, they don't do that anymore. They take handouts from medicine companies and all that. And you know what? I don't even think doctors want to in a lot of cases. I mean, some do. Some have no problem taking that cut back from Big Pharma. But like, I had a doctor in Arizona when I was still married and everything, before we split up and I moved to a different area, and had to choose a new doctor who was the one who gave me those. And he legit fucking hated medicine companies. Hated them. He's like, unfortunately, I have to deal with them. It's just the nature of the beast. And I don't know if you guys know this, but he was telling me when, like, Oxys and Percocets and stuff like that were first. Actually, it was a Percocet. I didn't quite make it all the way to Oxy. My apologies. It was a Percocet. He said they advertised them as non-addicting to the doctors. Can you imagine that? He's like, yeah. They told us they weren't addictive. So, and I remember when I got hurt in the prison and I bent my tailbone. I was home for a couple of months because of it. My doctor kept asking me to get him. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And he was pushing him hard. My doctor here in town. This guy named Dr. Lim. Really nice guy. I have this tattoo of a Grim Reaper right here. Right? This guy. And whenever he'd give me a shot, he wouldn't come in medically. He would go, let me see if I can get it between his eyes. And he'd squirt it in, and he'd pull it out. And one time he got it in the eye, and I bled a little bit afterwards. He was like, look, it's bleeding out of the eye. He was a really rad guy. I miss him. He had to retire. He was a really good dude, Dr. Lim. From the Philippines. He had family over there that he was constantly going back to. I don't know what their medical system is like, but I remember him being gone for like months at a time. I think he would go back and attend to some of his family members from time to time. Wonderful human being. Wonderful human being. I remember when I moved back to Boston, the first thing I did was I sought him out. And even though he was in a couple towns, maybe like one or two towns too far, I still went to him. I liked him that much. And when I visited him the first time, first I got a big hug. And he asked me about my now ex-wife and children, because they don't see him anymore. I actually met him through my ex-wife. I got a fun story, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Because I'm getting hungry. But he had, do you guys remember Metal Earth models, those little tiny little tin models that you'd bend the tabs and put it together? He was so excited to show me those because he knew I like building models. Something just fell off my shelf and it wasn't near the edge. Fuck that noise. Fuck that ghostly shit. But he was so excited to show me all. He was like, look, I got into stuff called Metal Earth. They were all over his office and everything. But, you going to protest today, Creep? No. Alan, I'm glad you're still here, man. I really did feel bad. I after thinking about it, I came off a little harder than I should have, and I didn't mean it that way. I hope you didn't take offense. Am I going to protest today? No, because I think the whole idea is stupid. And that has nothing to do with my political stance. Even if I was that liberal, I would still look at those and be like, grow up a little, please. Just a little. The guy's a boob. Yeah. And he may be doing a lot of shit you don't like, but I don't want to get into it. No, I am not going to protest today. But when I first met him, this doctor, I'm going to leave you with this. It was through my now ex-wife. We weren't even married yet, I don't think. And what happened was we had our first daughter before we got married. And we were engaged and everything. But the wedding just quite didn't happen. And actually, because of that, we ended up delaying the wedding a little bit. And it was after my daughter was like 1 or 2, we got married in March of 99, 13th. It just happenstance. That Saturday was the 13th. And my daughter's, my now ex-wife's family saw this guy. The whole family. And he literally said to him, if he doesn't have a doctor yet, I want him in my office. I want to know the man you're marrying. And I want to make sure he's healthy and make sure he's cool for you. I mean, he was legit like that. Because my now ex-wife's family didn't have a male figure in their life. There were 7 sisters. And the mom just fucking bailed on them. So the sisters raised each other. And one day they met this doctor, and he kind of took on that role, from the side, not actively, but he genuinely cared for all the sisters and their children and everything. And he wanted to make sure the man that she was marrying was worthy. And I fucking respected this cocksucker for it. But what he did next solidified my love for this man. I went in, I did all the tests, he wanted to do a physical and everything, and we were done. And then Super Bowl Sunday, this fucking dude waited till Super Bowl Sunday to call my house because he wanted to disturb my viewing of the game because of how mad he was about my blood work. A little condition that runs in my family is high triglycerides in your cholesterol. My dad had it. I have it. My brothers have it. I think my sister has it. And we're supposed to be on a medication. I started taking it when I was in high school. It's a thing called I can't remember now. But it's a cholesterol medication, a low dose. But naturally, our bodies, call it bad Irish genes or whatever, produce way too many triglycerides no matter what. And that's apparently the gooey shit that clogs the heart. And he saw those numbers. Plus, I ate like a fucking idiot. And he was like, dude, it's like bacon flowing through your veins. Monday morning, I don't care what you got going on. You will come to my office. I need to scold you. But he started the conversation by saying, hello, Christopher. Like, Dr. Lim? Yes, sir. Am I interrupting your watching of the big football game? I don't know why I made an accent like that. He was Filipino. But he did talk like that. And I'm like, yes, but no. Damn it. I was hoping to really aggravate you. And I'm looking at my wife and I go, is this guy fucking for real? And she said to me, you must have had something in your blood that he's pissed off about. And I got back on the phone and he goes, she is correct. I am very angry with you. You will be in my office Monday morning. I don't care if you have work. I don't care if you have a funeral to go to. You will be in my office at 8 o'clock Monday morning. And we will discuss these numbers. And we will discuss how you will correct them. I'm like, absolutely, bye. And that's why When I came back, I sought him out to make sure he was still a doctor. He has since retired. But any doctor that's willing to not only overhand stab you with a fucking, it was a tetanus shot, and to try to get it between the eyes of the Grim Reaper, and calls you to disturb you because of what he saw in the test, pissed him off that much. You know what? You got my business for life. Even if you're a shitty doctor, I don't care if you're malpractice all day long. I got you. I got you. Okay, let's go. Let me read what's going on here, and then I'm fucking hungry. My throat's starting to get dry. I didn't have any water. Usually when I do these, I should have some water on the side, right? Hold on. Hey, Predicto Presidento. Should I go out and protest the No Kings today? I forget I even have them here.
Yes.
Okay, looks like I'm a No Kings kind of cat today. Nobody take offense to that. I don't care what your political spectrum is. I really don't. I don't. You know, you believe what is right for you to believe. Just don't infringe on me, and I won't infringe on you, and it is what it is. Because you know what? Everyone screams so fucking dramatically on this side, and then on this side, and then this side's winning, and then this side's winning, and it's always doom and gloom, and guess what? Nothing happens 3-4 years later. There may be a little bit of an economy shift, there may be a little this and a little that, but it's always status quo. Gas prices go up, and they come down. It is the president's fault, it's not the president's fault, and it goes back and forth, and you know, sometimes people want no tips on fucking this and this tax on tips over here. And it always, like, it's the same fucking argument. It just always flips. It always flips. Just literally look at history, man. Look, ride that center line. Ride that center line. Don't commit yourself to a fucking party until you vote. Obviously, you have to fucking commit to a party when you vote. And just go to the topics that mean something to you. And I hate the better of the lesser of the two evils kind of situation. That needs to be fixed. And the other thing I say is Congress shouldn't be allowed more than maybe 8 years at best. Because the sensibilities of some fuck that's been there 40 years ain't going to be able to identify with the needs of the society that's growing at the time. It's all common sense shit, and everyone gets so fucking hardcore one way or hardcore the other way. And that's not what life and politics and religion and all that shit should be. Go where your heart tells you, and don't fucking pick a side. Because it's a cliche thing to say, but the left and right wings are flapping the same cocksucking bird into the air. Seriously. So will I protest? No, because I honestly think it's the most fucking stupidest fucking thing ever. I got people around here that get those big fucking crowns with the X's through them. Literally stapled to their fucking houses, and I'm talking big. And I drive by, and it's not because I don't like liberals, and it's not because I don't like conservatives. I like to poke the bear on Facebook, though. If you see something like that on my personal Facebook account, no, I'm only in it 25% at best. But I see that and I think, fucking idiot. This fucking person's going to worry so much about things that you really can't really fucking, just enjoy the things you love. Worry about the shit you're into. And leave the fucking neighbor alone. Leave your fucking neighbor alone. You see a Trump sign on his yard? Just say to yourself, what a fucking idiot. If you see a fucking Biden sign on someone's yard or Kamala, just think to yourself, what a fucking idiot. And move on. Because nothing changes. Nothing. We're always financially fucked. Nothing fucking changes. So to pick a side and go that fucking extreme with things. People are literally dying out there over fucking stupidity. And it fucking drives me nuts. Are there some issues that are tough? Yeah. There are issues that need to be addressed. And I'm not saying that addressing them is a bad thing. Just don't fucking staple a giant crown to the side of your fucking house and look like a douchebag. All right, and now we have people leaning over, falling off of the streets all day. I understand you. I see the little, yeah. Let's see. Oh, I know. You know what? There's something to be said about someone who can really zoom in on the details of things. I have a respect for that. Actually, I'm actually really good at reading into the details of an area, or more behavior than anything, like body language and the way things are said and how people physically do stuff. I remember when me and my buddy Clico Joe were still friends. Politically, we got fucked up. We got fucked up and we split. I had my little period of being that angry about whatever, And guess what? Nothing happened. Except I lost a few really good friendships out of it. Really good friendships. And he had shown me something and started talking about it. And then I went into almost like the psychology of it. He's like, Jesus Christ, dude. I would never have fucking thought of that. So I totally get to seeing the details. And I hope you don't think I was being insultive or anything. I really wasn't. I'm just an extreme. It's just what I do. It's what I do. It's the fucking, I guess, the Boston in me. Click the like buttons. Thank you, Bear. I appreciate that, man. All Americans should at least protest that haircut. Nah, dude, the haircut's more iconic than his dumbass. I love the haircut. I love the haircut. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? All right, guys. Oh, no. Alan and Chudley have crowns next to their fucking names. Who has the number one crown? Violation. No King's Days. Fuck it out of here. Guys, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. Just be rad to each other. You know who has, and I don't know if they're still in here, Potion. When Potion Sword Run ends a video, he says, go out there and enjoy your life and I'll meet you halfway or something like that. I'll meet you right there. What a wonderful way to leave somebody, no matter what the conversation was about. And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I still have a very strong belief in Jesus Christ, and I follow his teachings to the best of my retarded abilities. But I'm not gonna go extreme on either side. If I agree with something Trump does, I'm gonna say it. If I don't, I'm gonna say it. And I've said it plenty of times. I agree with this and I don't agree with that. And the girls here can't understand that. Because they get a mom that's super liberal, and then they go to a school that's super liberal, and then they come home to me who's not hardcore on anything. And they hear me criticizing Trump while thinking I'm MAGA. I do lean a little more to the conservative side, but that's because I grew up in a house with the Lord, and my dad was a minister, but none of it's out of hate. My dad had no hate in his heart at all. In fact, he didn't care who or what you were. You were welcome in our home. It was what it is. It's about teaching love and peace. And a lot of people sit there and all-loving God. A little bit of trivia. Nowhere in the Bible does it say God's an all-loving being. It does say that he is the source of all love in Luke, the book of Luke. I didn't expect to give you a Bible lesson, but a lot of atheists will come out and say, oh yeah, how can an all-loving God XYZ? It's like, oh, he's not. He doesn't say he is, but... All right, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Enjoy the rest of this gorgeous Saturday. If it's gorgeous where you are. If it's not, I apologize. I'm taking up all the gorgeousness. Next time, take care. Creep it real. Bye-bye. All that stuff. Alzheimer's. I got some really cool things coming this week, and we're going to get the campaign kicking off. All right, guys.